Hey there, YouTubers. Alright, so I'm going to show you in this computer I have right here, which has a i5 9600K in it, what the different benchmarks were between a GTX 750, GTX 1650, GTX 970, and a GTX 1650 Super. Alright, those last two are supposed to be relatively comparative. Now, somewhere in here I stole some RAM out of here, there's a slight shift here between 20 gigs of RAM and 28, but otherwise everything else pretty much stays constant as far as the drive, the motherboard, and the CPU. So here's the scoring with a GTX 950 in it, and these were done all recently as I don't know if you'd call it the baseline, but GTX 2060 Super is scored at 100%. So 34, 116, and 72. So actually for a old graphics card, that's not the worst gaming score out there. So let's look at it with a GTX 1650 in here. Alright, so this was a card that does not require GPU power, so max of 75 watts. So you got a gaming score of 50, desktop 121, and workstation 78. Very respectable scores here. And just so you can see this real quick, there's what the scoring out of the 1650 was, and hopefully I'll remember this: 161, 122, and this average. So let's look at a GTX 970, which just so happens, you know, luckily for this, I have had all these graphics cards. And this one is supposed to be, you know, as they say, comparative to the GTX 1650S. Now, you see the scores higher for gaming for the 970. Desktop 119, workstation 79. So the only ones that were better than the 1650 were desktop for some reason. There was a little higher background CPU. Let's go ahead and look at how the graphics card scored out. 54% and 191, 161, 191. So definitely the GTX outperformed that, or GTX 970 outperformed the 1650. So finally, what we have in there right now is a GTX 1650 Super, and you see the benchmark scores: gaming 66, desktop 124, workstation 81. These are really acceptable scores in my opinion. I have had a few graphics cards that are doing better than this, but now at this point though, it relies on a 6-pin for power. But you see quite a jump here, and these scores are better than the other two. So yeah, I just want to show you guys what my benchmarks are. I'm not sure if they're all available. This was probably this may have been the 70th one of these. I'm trying to remember where that's